All right, take this off. Let's go.
Yeah, man, we
And
back. We back. My bad for the whole delay in terms of episodes. That is entirely upon me. Do not blame Ant. So, pretty much, I'm just going to give it to you fast. I had COVID. And I had to isolate. I had all the symptoms. All y'all that know about COVID, this Omicron or Marion tour that's going on, apparently it's more mild or whatnot. I got the whole shebang. So, I had to sit out for almost 2 weeks. But now I'm good. No more symptoms, no nothing. So we back and let's just get into it, man. How you been these last 2 weeks?
I'm good. We just got some fire topic for the day. There's a lot of things that have been going on for the past couple weeks in the world. There's things that we definitely want to touch on. I'm immediately going to start, with the Tinder Swindler. I hope at this point you guys all caught up with the documentary on Netflix because we're definitely going to throw some spoiler alert in this clip. So for those that have for
Lord
those
have mercy.
for
Ooh,
those
I just got out of it.
for those that have not watched the Tinder Swirler on Netflix, is basically the story of this scam artist by the name of, well, I can't remember the original name. He's from Israel, but he took on the name of Simon Leviev. Basically, he's making it seem like he's the billionaire nephew. No, he's the nephew of a billionaire,
No, he's a son
diamond
of a,
mogul,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
son of a diamond mogul. And he's basically going Tinder and trying to get women to go out with him and do whatever. So he put on a Ponzi scheme basically to get women to first of all date them and then eventually get money out of them. So this is my little recap. I don't know if you want to add more.
No,
before we
you pretty much explained it. They really focused on two women and then a third once they got to the point of how they were going to expose him, and then that his current girlfriend at the end was able to expose him, and yeah. Anyway, he was sentenced to what, 5 years in jail, but then in the end he got 5 months, and now he's back out there. He's balling again. He's opened up a website where he's teaching people how to scheme themselves, how to.
It's a bit. Well, we don't know if
Listen,
it's scheme.
I'll be real. This is my 2 cents on the whole thing. Bravo to him, man. Bravo to him. Listen, I think he's a scumbag. He's a complete and utter scumbag. He's taking advantage of people. But that's the game. That's the world that we live in, B. That's simply the world that we live in. Is it disgusting? Absolutely. Is he taking advantage of some unfortunate women? Absolutely. But at the same time, I personally can't blame scammers that much.
So you watched the documentary, right? You making sure that you
Yeah, I saw the whole thing, and I was just thinking, like, man, this guy, his manipulation skills are on point. If he
I don't think
actually,
he was. That's my thing. I don't think he was.
yeah, he was.
No, I mean, so basically, documentary start with the one of the lady that introduced, the guy, and said how she found his profile on Tinder, and he kind of got the strategy down where he put a lot of nice picture with him, fast car, nice cars on a yacht, on private plane. Those are his pictures on Tinder. Basically, for all you guys out there using Tinder, the best way for you to get more matches is putting really nice pictures of you guys. For the men perspective, putting nice picture out. So he figured that out. He figured out put some nice picture with nice clothes. He make sure he had the brand on, all the fancy, nice, luxurious brand. He had them on that. So he had some of the women hooked on that. Now my issue is, sorry I cut him off, but my issue was there's just so many red flags, man. It was just so many red flags leading up to the dates. Go ahead.
But you know what it is, and this is the first thing I thought when I saw that whole thing was, man, maybe it's just a dichotomy between men and women. But the fact of the matter is, man, once you show a man that looks a little good and he looks like he has money, people will ignore red flags, particularly these women. The first woman, that's exactly what I thought. And she even had this they showed this screenshot of her text thread where she says, "I'm going on a private jet." Her friends were like, "Yo, are you sure? You just met homie." She's like, "YOLO." I'm telling you, the allure of a dude that has money like that makes them think that even if there's a red flag, they're thinking, okay, this might just be an opportunity. I at least need to check it out.
So you touched on the point I wanted to touch on, and my reason why there was so many red flags. The point you just made regarding people, as soon as there's money involved, people just kind of like write off all the red flags they see. My thing is, just the texting leading up to the date were just dry. usually you have to date. You have to text a little bit. We've all been on dating apps. You have to text a little bit. You have to kind of make some sort of connection prior to even meeting the person. It seems like the simple fact that he had nice pictures on Tinder, and then she was able to find him on Instagram. She was just like, all right, Instagram looks good. She's not even doing no back. I've been told. First of all, I've been told by women, plenty of women, that before they meet a dude, they do their background search, LinkedIn, Instagram, Google the motherfucker, making sure that he's good.
But that's what she did.
No. She did Instagram. She didn't Instagram. That's it.
I mean, the second one. No, that was the second one. The second one did the whole thing.
That's what I'm saying. If you do Google the guy right now, I guarantee he's not even gonna pop up as the nephew of the guy. That's my issue. But anyway, that's the thing in itself. The conversation was dry as hell. It's literally just like, we match. Hey, oh, you want to meet for coffee? Sure, bet. My private jet is gonna pick you up, and we're gonna go to a different country.
But I kept telling you.
The other one gave her passport.
Bruh, the allure of money will have people think, okay, this seems a little fishy. I knew immediately. I knew immediately that this chick was thinking about, yo, he got too much money. I need to at least see what's going on. The moment that they did the whole private jet thing, and homie's baby mother and the child was right there. I was like, dog, you're gonna hop on a damn private jet with the dude's family being right there?
But how?
This is the first time you've met him.
But my thing is, again, how does she know he has money off of the Instagram? It's crazy because, again, we all agree that we can all create a life on Instagram that, that's not reality. But I feel like those are grown women. When you've been on Tinder, there's plenty of people that put fake pictures. I mean, there's a whole show called Catfish. So people really, people do these things. So how are you not going to at least be careful that just like, man, there's a lot of fake profile on Tinder. There's a lot of people there's a lot of that. So I get your point you're making in terms of there's like he has money and she forgot everything. But at the same time, you've been on Tinder a while. You didn't even know if dude had money prior for you to make that decision.
But this is my, again, the point. I think that you right now are giving way too much credit to people. People do not think about these things. And when they see, it's like when you throw a lure into the sea, you're trying to catch a fish. When your lure is that shiny, the fish are gonna come. They're gonna figure out if it's real or not later. But they at least want to try it out. He invited her to they first had their breakfast, whatever, at a fancy hotel and all that kind of shit. He paid, all was good. She was thinking probably like, wow, this guy's legit. But they don't think really much further than that.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So fine. So all these things, right? Now,
well, how do you, and this is my one question to you, right? The supposition, right? How many women do you think he does that? All we saw were the ones that worked, where it worked.
Fine, true.
That's the point too.
Okay, so this is the point, right? So all the red flag, I get your point. Even with all of that, fast forward, because I'm not going to do the whole thing. You guys have to go back. Within the first girl was just like, it's my boyfriend. My boyfriend, hold on. Let me back up for a second. After all these things that he talked about, because my man was flying all the time. So they may have really saw each other maybe two or three times. 2-3 weeks later, he's already like, yo, Peter hurt. Send money. Not even just like, my account's been frozen by the FBI, whatever. 3 weeks on knowing the guy. I understand he gave her the impression of having money. But how can you go out of your way, open a whole bank account with your government name on it, and lend a billionaire's son? Do you imagine the amount of connection that this man supposedly have? Why would you feel that he's come to me, little person, to ask me for money with all the connection he has? It's like people, man.
This is where we have to think. This is where we have to go and talk to the psychologist. Simple as that. And that's exactly what I thought. No. Hold on. No, I'm going to explain to you exactly why. Because people, and I remember I actually spoke to a psychology professor about this many, many years ago when I was in college. She explained to me that, when people are blinded by certain emotions, they completely forget the common sense that goes off in their brain. There's a short circuit. So this lady, she managed to completely fall for this guy. She bought into his whole aura, et cetera, et cetera. I think this probably was just a short circuit. Yeah, we can call her, maybe she's dumb. But the fact of the matter is, I think that when you're overwhelmed by these emotions.
That is your whole argument. But do you think, let me ask you this. Do you think there was all these emotion, or more so because a lot of people think that the girl were just basically gold diggers and they were looking for a come up, and, because they were so... Because the trick was so big. No, it's a question. Because the trick was so big, they didn't pay attention to all the red flags that were there because of all the things that you just mentioned.
But hold on. This is a conversation that I'd be having a lot of times, right? Like, between men and women, and you were talking about Tinder, right? As a man, most men, when they swipe on Tinder, a lot of them don't look at the bio. They just look at the pictures. For women, and they just look at the fact whether or not girl is fine or whatnot. Women, yeah, do they look at the picture too? Yeah, is he fine? Okay, but they're also gonna see, okay, can he take care of himself? Does he have a certain amount of monetary income? That's how you may hook women into your whole ordeal. But then when you work on them, and the emotional standpoint, and that's what happens.
Does on Tinder, yo. That's the thing I don't understand. What does a billionaire does on Tinder,
people don't think about that.
What you mean?
Hold on. And this is why we always talk about being in the social media era, right? Where people always think about like, yo, I want to get the extravagant, most amazing thing because I see someone else having that. They're hooked onto the lure of, this is what I've been looking for this whole time. I need to at least try to see if I can get it, if this is real.
Okay, so my question, going back to the question I asked, do you think the women were out to get something and they got played, or they were just naive and...
I think it was both.
Okay, all right.
I honestly think it's both.
Good point.
I think it's both. I think it was literally, because listen, man, again, we talk about the things that men and women in these heterosexual relationships or whatnot are looking for when they look for a partner. A lot of women, they look for a man, okay, does he look good, blah, blah, blah. But they also look to see if he has the resources to fund a certain lifestyle or whatnot. Right? Men, we only look at the fact, is she fine or not? That's literally the only thing that goes off in our mind. Once the people start interacting, okay, emotions may come into play, et cetera, et cetera. But, and then in terms of this particular show, yeah, the allure of the money and the imagery that this guy was giving lured these women in. But then he worked on them emotionally. And that's how the naivete and everything comes into effect. It's a whole, I'm telling you, it's a whole process.
I get it, but
it's an entire process,
I understand,
man.
But being blind to the point where you're not even asking you a basic question of, how is this man a billionaire?
No, they're naive.
No. It's one thing being, no. This is where I'm like, no, you can't pull me to naive. Where you're going to open a whole bank account where you're going to ask for $25K. Let's see how you got a 20. Wait, hold on.
Forget about it. It's
stupidity.
It's stupidity.
So right. But not only even that, one of the girls loaned him money 9 times. She went as far as going on debt, $250,000.
Man, forget that. One of them girls wasn't even in a relationship with him. Man, that's why I was like, dog, what is this, man? The second one, I was like, dog, what is this?
Listen. I'm just going to say my take. It might be controversial. I think they were just, doing their thing, but she just
on the side,
but she just didn't want to call it a relationship. But they were just, in a way, that girl he's talking about, she's the one that flew out on the coffee. They went to a different country. You gave your passport and everything to someone you just met. Like, in what world? But anyway, man, what I'm going to say, because I'm going to close out on this, what's interesting on the internet is the comments based on men and the difference between the reaction between men and women. A lot of men, I think we all think he's an asshole. We all think this man he's in dirt. This man deserve a lot more jail time that he received. It seems like he's being protected. I don't know, but he seems like he still has an Instagram. He's still out here having a new, young, beautiful girlfriend that doesn't buy into all the shit. But what I'm gonna say is, on one side you have the woman that is just like, he's an asshole. He needs to go to jail. Blah blah blah. Like, I can't believe there's people like that out there. But then you have the men, and you have a lot of men who are just like, we are a documentary about all the gold diggers, women that have been taking our money. They're just like, yo, like.
Well, how are you surprised by that? Why are you surprised? It's no different.
I'm not surprised. I'm just thinking, hold on, I'll just finish there. I'm not surprised. I just think it's funny, the different reaction based on gender. Because if we think about it,
there's a constant gender war out here. City girls versus city boys. It's going out nonstop. Simple as that. I think at the end of the day, man, we just need to look at these people and be like, yo, this is a cautionary tale of knowing yourself and being able to question the people that come around you. Simple as that. Just be more cautious at the people that come around you. That's the moral of the story. Because seriously, man, like you were saying, when you be on these dating apps, you usually have to talk to the person for a little while. You don't meet up immediately. But certain people, they're sucked in by the allure. It's not any different from that catfish chick that thought she was gonna date Bow Wow, but she got a
not even just that.
It's stuff like that, man. Like,
but the documentary.
Be more cautious.
No, but I mean, like you said, I mentioned. I think be more cautious, but it's just the actual. Netflix has another show that I don't know if people I got a chance to caught up on. Maybe it's gonna blow up too. Inventing Hannah, where I don't know if you looked up the show, but it's the same thing. It's this young Russian girl that act like she's from German, from like a noble family in Germany, and she moved to New York, and she's able to scam a lot of hotels and a lot of rich people in New York. George just got released from jail. It's feeling like I almost feel like these people are winning in these streets. She did 3 or 4 years in jail, and now Netflix bought her story and for $300,000, man. And so both of these people, it's just so funny how I feel like in the end, both of these people are winning because the Simon guy, and he's still having all the money because technically it seemed like he hasn't committed any crime, whatever.
And that was my final point. Because and this is why listen, we all agree these are horrible people, they're scamming people, etc., etc. But I'm kind of impressed at the way they were able to get their shit off, B. I'm gonna be 1,000% real because this guy technically, I think it was maybe the identity theft and the passports and all that kind of stuff that got him into jail. But in terms of the money, no, everything was in these women's names. And for the other girl, I think she was able to play the system of depositing a check and then, you can use the money that you get it real quick before they verify if the check is legit. And they just play these type of games. And now she served her time, and now she's got a great story, and she's getting money. That's the kind of stuff that, as much as it's reprehensible, how their actions are super reprehensible, it still impresses me to a certain degree. Because I think these people, if they utilize their skills in a legitimate fashion, I think they could be big ass, bank ass business people. That's what I think.
No, I mean, true. It's just that they just don't want to put all the work that's required to get there. But I agree. I mean, I think it also says a lot about our society and how much we are easily swayed when it comes to money, men or women, and how much respect we give to people because there's this impression that we respect people that make a lot more money than us. It's just the same thing as someone who's very attractive. Immediately, you give them a certain respect that they haven't even earned. So, it can be said something about a society we're living in, but it is what it is, I guess. I think you summed it up pretty well. There's a lot of, I don't even think...
Just be cautious, man. Just be cautious with the people that you associate and make sure you ask the proper questions. Simple as that.
Yep. That's it for this take, man. Let us know what you think in the comment. All right. So...